Okay, so let's start with what is your name?
So, for those who don't know, I'm Norma Brown.
Lovely. And what is your role or like job title at Liberton Kirk?
Okay, so I'm employed at Liberton Kirk as cafe manager,
Lovely.
and I've been doing that for 6 years now.
I can't believe the cafe's six.
I know, yeah, we've just had our sixth birthday.
It feels like it's been forever at the same time as not being that long.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do as cafe manager?
Well, some of the volunteers might think that I just sit and drink coffee while they do all the work. But there's various elements to my job. One is obviously the food side in terms of getting all the food there that we need, the ordering, the supplies. I try to see to all of that, the buying. Then there's sort of the safety side, the environmental health. Make sure that we're compliant. So trying to keep everything safe in the kitchen and everybody.
Yeah.
And make sure when courses are offered, like the environmental health, food safety, that kind of thing, the volunteers are all entitled to go on courses, and only if they want, it's not obligatory. So I try to make sure everybody's got the information that they need to be able to do what they want to do. And obviously a big part is looking after the volunteer team.
Yeah.
So we've had up to 40 volunteers. We currently have about 30. We've lost just now a lot of the young ones that come from the other agencies with support workers. Obviously, just now we don't have them with us. So, but we have a fabulous team. Very proud of our team at Kirkgate Cafe. Yeah, and they are all so hardworking and dedicated to the cause. Yeah, we have a brilliant team.
You seem like a bit of a family. Whenever I'm there, you all seem to know each other really well, and you seem it's more of a family atmosphere.
Yeah, I like to just see it that we are family, but also that we kind of do life together and that we share our lives and just what's going on. You kind of bring to work with you what's happening in your life. And so some people can come in down because of struggles. Other people are celebrating lovely events in their family. And so we share our lives together. That really is what happens. And it's a very mutual thing. It's a big team effort.
Yeah.
And obviously the day-to-day work of the cafe, serving customers. I see more the volunteers doing that, and I try to enable them to do that because that's their community. Yeah. So I'm probably more in the kitchen out the road, if I'm not drinking coffee and chatting. Yeah.
I have a question. It's not on my list of questions, but who is it that sorts out the music for the cafe? Is that your music?
Sorry?
Is it your music that gets played at the cafe?
Well, yeah, I really do like there to be music playing. I like there to be a bit of, so that if you're trying to have a nice, wee personal conversation, the people at the next table don't necessarily overhear what you're trying to say. Yeah. So I like there to be music playing. And yeah, I always ask others if they would like their music playing, especially the young ones. But they have to suffer mine. And I do try to vary it from, sort of instrumental worship music. We quite often have 60s music playing. Maybe that reflects, I think, there's some of the age of the volunteers. But it's funny because on a Thursday, if you're in the cafe, you get treated to Colin's music. Colin's one of our older volunteers. And we can have anything from Jimmy Shand through to Ed Sheeran. He's got them all on his playlists. Yeah, a Thursday's a good day to come in. Otherwise, yes, it's my music.
It's your music, okay. So my question number 4 on my list is, have you always lived in the area? But I can see, and I know, that you don't live in Liberton. You live in Livingston. So what brought you to Liberton?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Laura. Yeah, for 20 years of my life, I lived in the Scottish borders. in a little village there. My husband and I had gone down to study in Bible college, 30 years ago now, actually. And so for 20 of those years, we lived in the Borders. And then we moved up to Livingston, partly because of work and partly I wanted to be nearer my parents who were getting frail. So at that time, I started work with Bethany Christian Trust in Edinburgh. And I managed a few of the shops for them. And I did that for 6 years. And then that job came to an end. And it was also a difficult time in my life. My husband and I were separated for a couple of years. And things were very difficult. And so when my job at Bethany came to an end, I thought, I need to find another job. But I knew through Christine Johnson that Liberton were looking to set up a cafe. And so I phoned Christine and I said, are you still needing someone? And she said, oh yes, we're just interviewing now, your timings, everything, come up and we'll interview you. So clearly the rest is history. But when I go back to my time in the Borders, I had set up a church cafe there. Our little church had bought over an empty 2 shops actually in the middle of the village, and we developed that into a little cafe for our church down there. So I kind of drew on that experience then when I came to Liberton. And I have to say, apart from Christine Johnson and Chris Boyle, I did not know anybody at all in Liberton, and I was made so welcome, and I love it.
So we've kind of covered the next question. It's what kind of music do you listen to? So I'm guessing is 60s some of it, or
any? I love country music actually.
Country music.
Country music, Christian music, soul. Just any. And actually, I quite enjoy some of the current, like Stormzy, who's a rapper, right? My kids were shocked when they saw that I was liking all this, but it was more the words that he was coming out with in his song, and so there, it depends, but I try to listen to a variety.
Okay.
Spice of life.
I'm the same, a bit of everything. Do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies? Well, currently at this stage, I used to love cycling and embroidery, but now the eyes are not so good for the embroidery, and my bike fell apart last lockdown. And I'm thinking, so I've not bought a new one, but I used to enjoy those things. But currently, this stage in my life, I love spending time with my grandchildren, and and also walking. I do enjoy walking and just being outdoors. And for the last few years, I've had an allotment, which was quite new for me, growing things. But I've really enjoyed getting into that and spending time outdoors. And obviously, you reap some rewards when you grow things. I'm getting quite into that. I'm going there just this morning, actually, when we finish, Laura. That's the plan. So and I enjoy baking, socialising, going out for meals and coffees, and enjoy going to the cinema. I love films.
Right.
And reading.
Cool. So do you have a favourite food or a favourite thing that you like to cook with anything from your allotment?
Well, if I was to say a favourite food, it would need to be something sweet, because sadly, and if you could see me just now, I have a very sweet tooth. And I need to get back to the gym and get back into the swimming pool. Can't hurry up those to open. No. Last year at the allotment, I seemed to grow lots and lots of masses of courgettes.
Okay.
So last summer and autumn was all about every kind of courgette recipe I could find. And it even went into cakes.
Cakes. I've had courgette cake before.
Yes. It was nice. Yeah, an acquired taste, I think, but yeah.
Yeah.
So basically anything sweet, sadly,
Anything
for
sweet.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're at our final question, and it is, do you have a Bible verse that you find useful, or even just a favourite Bible verse, and why?
Well, not particularly one, but there is one that I do come back to and that I think about quite a lot. And it's from John chapter 1. And it talks about, let me just see, because I've got it to hand. To all who receive him, to those who believe in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Now, that might seem a very strange verse, just very random, which it is. But I like the idea of knowing for certain that I am a child of God. I've been given that right through Jesus. And throughout my life, when something that a lot of people don't know about me, when I was 17, I went to study to be a nurse. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a nurse. But I failed the exams. I just couldn't get out onto the paper what I needed to do. And then I kind of went into a bit of a depression. I really struggled to know what to do with the rest of my life. But God kind of obviously opened a plan and a way and all the rest of it. And I kind of came through that, but it affected me for, probably still does, in terms of I don't have a lot of self-confidence in my own abilities. And I know that I can't do anything without God's strength, and I would be nothing. But for me, I can hold on to, I am a child of God. Nobody can ever, or anybody can ever take that away from me, that I am. He gave me that right to be a child of God because I believe, I put my trust in him. And that's kind of my life that I do. I trust God and that he'll take care and provide for me and guide me. Yeah. And he has this far. He's not let me down yet.
No, that's always good to hear. Well, that's us finished, so would you mind closing us in prayer?
Okay. Father, I thank you what it is to be part of your family. And your plan was to take me to Liberton, to be part of that Liberton Kirk family there too, and that community. And I do thank you for all the people that I've met and the customers, the volunteer team that I work with, and for everybody that makes that up. And I just pray for each person that I come into contact with, that they would know what it means to have that assurance that they can be a child of God. Thank you for your family, for what that means. I thank you for your love that encompasses us all. And so I just bring our little chat to you now, in Jesus' name. Amen.